Hello and welcome back everybody over here at Daily Place. Player here once again bring you another episode of our Bundle Rumble. This is our Modern Horizons bundle cracking. Day number 5. Deck number 5. Over here. And also maybe get my mugshot out of the way. Alright, let's see what we're cracking tonight. Well, actually, this afternoon I should say, but hey. I mean, I don't even know when you guys and gals are always watching those, but yeah. Hope it's as a responsible time. Not like I do some of my recordings which are at like 1 AM or something like that. But hey, tonight I actually had time and yeah, doing it in the afternoon. Let's see. Downside is, of course, very variable. Anyways, let's see what we get. So, first of all, we got an art card. We'll take a look at... You know what, let's take a look at it now, because I already saw the name. It's the Problem Bird, aka Mr. Nado Winged Wisdom. I knew he was called Nado, I just wasn't sure about his additional name. But yeah, it's the bird. The one generic, one green, one blue, 3/4 flying. Whenever someone of you gets targeted, or a creature of you gets targeted by a spell ability for the first and second time a turn, you basically get to look at the top card of your library. Basically, it's like we talked about that spell. It's about like a growth spiral. Like every time one of your things gets targeted, it gets like a growth spiral. You can look at the card. If it's a land, you get into play. If it's not a land, you get on your hand. So this bird is just crazy. I must admit though, cool artwork, and in theory, it would be a bit more balanced. Like if he only triggers once a turn, or if he has a limit in total, like once a turn per permanent, or I guess he would be very fine. But yeah, he just crazy, man. Just be crazy. Whoops. Let's go over here. All right. So for our first recard, we're back to the Eldrazi, everybody, with the little white pouncer. Cute little boy. Bye. I should record all this again. Cute little guy is what I want to say. White Pouncer. One generic, one red, a 3/1. Oops, you see the stat line. 3/1. It's an Eldrazi creature. It has Devoid, so even though it costs a red, it actually is colorless. And yeah, it also has Kicker, which means when we cast this, we may also now pay the additional cost of 2 generic and 1 colorless. So 3 additional ones, so for 5 mana. We can instead have him. Oh, yeah, that's down here. If Void Pouncer was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it, and a trample counter, and with haste. So yeah. This thing either is for 2 mana, a 3/1, which is a neat little aggressive creature early on in the curve, putting some pressure in, trading most hopefully upwards with a 3x, or sorry, x3 on the opponent's board. Or if you have the spare mana later on, he becomes a 5 free trample and haste. What is kind of weird is because it doesn't say haste at the end of turn, so it always has haste as long as it's on your side of the board. I think that's the really interesting part. Like if it's on your side of the board, it keeps the haste. So stuff that asks for a creature with haste, I know there are only a few cards, but those see him always having haste. And the trample counter. Whereas the thing, if someone takes control of him, I think he doesn't have haste. Technically, someone gets control of him or something like that. There was something weird with his rules. I will need to look it up again, but there was something weird with the haste type that he had. He doesn't have a haste count or anything like that. He just has haste. As long as I think he's on your side of the board. There was something weird with it. Overall, I think what is a nice little aggressive creature. 2 mana 3/1. As I said, it's pretty fine early on. 5/3 for 5. I mean, in the nowadays meta, it's lacking a bit. Back in the day, I think it was pretty good. Would have been pretty good. And I think still, I mean, to today, it's still fine. Like, you're dropping on 5 and go swinging. Yes, the issue is that you have to have the colorless mana, but then again, you usually play him in a Eldrazi shell anyways. And why is my camera going to shit tonight? That's not nice. Yeah, I think overall he's a pretty nice fella. I wonder what swarm he is from, though, because it doesn't really look like... I mean, due to the big head, you could have assume he might be from Emma. And that's not really Emma's style, right? Lots of tentacles. Not sure, not sure. What do you guys think what swarm he belongs to? Hmm. Well, anyways, let's go on. But I know I take way too long on those videos anyway, so let's not dawdle too long, something like that. Next up is the Electrozoa. This is for 2 generic, 1 blue. A creature jellyfish. We don't have that many of those. It's a free 1. It has flash, flying, and when Electrozoa enters the battlefield, we get 2 energy counters. At the beginning of our pre-combat main phase, first main phase we have in a turn, tap Electrozoa unless we pay an energy. I mean, this can be a nice surprise blocker, or jump blocker late game. Actually, also early game, technically. But the thing is, if you want them to stick around, you need to pay energy. So if you're not an energy shell, you can only really use him for 2 turns. Or, of course, if you have an untapped effect. But it feels kind of bad, think, to untap this thing to just be able to attack later on. So, But yeah. Interesting though, it has a beak like an octopus, but even though it's a jellyfish. As far as I'm aware, jellyfish don't have this giant beak. And also those, some barnacles, right? Those are something else on his shell there, all those horny like offshoots or wing like offshoots. I don't know, sometimes it looks a bit like horns, sometimes it looks a bit like wings, especially this one up here. Make that out. I wonder if they wanted to make it an octopus early on, and they were like, nope, let's change that. Interesting. I mean, I was actually putting that one during the pre-release as well, but he didn't make the cut for the deck. Again, I was tempting to put him in as another, compared to another free drop, but I ended up cutting him. I didn't really miss him, honestly. Like, yes, he has flying, yes, he has free power, but I don't know, if I would have had to, I think I was talking about, like, I only had a few energy cards, so it felt nice using them all, the energy for drawing. I would have had to use it for keeping this guy untapped. It would have been a bit annoying, honestly. I don't know. Maybe it would have helped, but, I mean. Next up, we have a very weird little thing. This is the Temperament Ooze Wag, which is a brush wag where the brush got replaced with ooze. I would say that those things already looked very weird back in the past. And this thing looks even weirder nowadays. It's a creature ooze brushwag. It's a 4 mana for 4, so for 3 generic, 1 green. That's actually pretty fine already. Like 4 mana for 4, solid body. And we can later on pay 2 generic and 1 green to adapt to. Like if this thing doesn't have a +1/+1 count on it, we get to put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. And modified creatures we control have trample. So basically later on we can pay an additional 3, so for 7 this could turn into a 7 mana effectively 6/6 trample, and giving everybody else on our board that is modified also trample. So this is, for instance, you split the cost on 2 turns, I guess this is fine. And you can adapt at any time, so you can even go in for an attack, and if they don't block something big, you can be like, yeah, whatever. That's alright, it's a nice little common. I think this is definitely playable. And yeah, look at that guy. That's just... As I said, like the original brushworks already had some weird artworks, but this guy kind of takes the cake. Oh, actually, this is also the first card we have of flavor text tonight, so let's see. In position on the food chain. No, sorry. Its position on the food chain causes great confusion in everybody from hunter to other monsters. Yeah, like is it food? Or does it want food? I'll never know. Actually, I think we put the Nado card down here. You guys can still see it, but that means I can fit all the cards here. So this. So like spraying it out like that, we see what we pulled in total. So it's actually well balanced color-wise for a change. Usually we have a clear winner already early on. Now we got the Dream Drinker Vampire. 1 generic, 1 black. It's a 2/1 creature vampire. I mean, also with the name Dream Drinker Vampire, if it wouldn't have been a vampire, I would have been upset. Actually, it could even be a spirit or horror in looking at that picture, but okay, apparently it's not. It has lifelink, and we can adapt it for one generic, one black. Let's adapt one. So again, similar to the brushback, but it doesn't have counters in it. We get to put a counter on it for this mana cost. And whenever one or more counters are put on the Dream Drinker Vampire, it gains menace until end of turn. So this is a bit like this one permanently has his good upside there with the counters on it, like the trample, and it also gives that on already to everybody else who already has modifications. Whereas this guy, you constantly want to proc this, so like you need some proliferate or some additional. What's the ability? The other one that we also pulled yesterday, I believe it was. No, sorry, it must be 2 days ago. The guy that could Outlast, right? Something like Outlast. So you need to get him in effect to constantly get counters. Else he will be easy to block. So I mean, what are we looking at? First turn a 2-mana 2/1 lifelink. And second turn we are looking at another 2-mana investment, so effectively at 4-mana 3/2 lifelink menace. I mean, if you have a passive or very cheap active +1/+1 counter, I think he might be alright, but I don't see this guy being that great for girl. Otherwise I would guess it's a girl. But we can take a look at that in a second. Also has a flavor text. The dream she tastes will be your last. So he doesn't just drink your dreams. It's so like either she completely sucks out all dreams of you or she sucks you dead. Imagine which one of the two it is, actually. I really like the artwork. Oh, like, look at that. This cute little dragon thing. Not sure what that's up about. Is that part of her? Is that her familiar? See it, like it's wrapping from one arm around the chest. It's a bit hard to see due to her arm. But here. Feels a bit weird for Dream. I mean, I get it because it's this foggy entity that might have something to do with dreams, similar to Ashiok. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure about the flavor. Technically, if it drinks dreams from people, then it's similar to the fairies from Lorwyn that stole dreams. Okay, let's see. I'm not entirely sure about the flavor here, because if it's really it's the last dream you drink, but I guess the suggestion is that if you lose your last dream, then you're dead. But okay. Let's see, then we have the Nyxborn Unicorn. That's actually a pretty cool card. It's for 1 generic, 1 white. I have it in focus now. A 2/2. It's an enchantment creature unicorn. I mean, the Nyxborn kind of gave that away, because all Nyxborn creatures are enchantment creatures. And also, as the name giveaway, it has Bestow, similar to the Hydra we already pulled. This is for 3 generic and 1 white. We can pay this cost instead of the other one. And to cast it as an aura spell with enchant creature. And yeah, if it falls off, or basically if it gets unattached, or if the target becomes legal for the aura spell, it turns back into a creature. And it has Mentor. So whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature with less power. And yeah, if it instead is the aura, the enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has Mentor. So I mean, something that can attack and pump your like a 1-drop, like for example if you play turn 1 a 1/1 or 1/2, second turn this thing, then go attacking turn 3 with this and the other creature, then they both attack with at least 2 power. That's alright, that's alright. I mean, it only really pumps little guys, so I guess later on it's definitely better to use it as the Mentor. Like, Mentor always felt like a weird mechanic to me. I've never played with the mechanic when it was out, so I've only seen it on cards, like whenever I'm browsing the card gallery and stuff. And also, there's a huge shadow tonight on my face. Anyways, so I can't really gauge that one. Like, it feels, especially on a creature with that low power, it feels very weak to me. I guess the main part is basically having it on the enchanted creature. We bestow it on something. So I don't feel like, I feel it's alright, but it's nothing too crazy. But maybe correct me there, because as I said, like, I have not really played during Pharaoh's block. Even though it had the Dryads and everything, I did not, like, I had my little magic break there during that time. And like Ikoria, Pharaohs, there was another block I did not touch. block is the wrong word there. But there was some other sets I missed, so yeah, I'm not too familiar with this stuff. Yeah, please let me know how good that was back in the day. I mean, the artwork again is very, very gorgeous. Looking at that beautiful unicorn with the little pony there in the background. Almost looks like the unicorn should have flying as well with those little wings there. I mean, clearly see the Nyxborn thing with the stars. Actually, that's something I missed with the Hydra. I didn't really scream magical or Nyxborn, like a Nightborn to me, but this one clearly shows some starry sky and stuff, and I really like the wind there pushing the clouds forward. You clearly see that there's a little wall of clouds building up due to the wind. What's kind of weird, like the main is blowing that way, but the wind seems to be blowing this way due to the wheat field and the... What's on? It's a pretty flat, but I don't want to trash it or anything. It's good, it's good. As I said, like, I feel the creature still is alright, just not going too crazy, and I just saw the time. We need to crank up the speed a bit. I want to do another half an hour video. I know I'm rambling a lot during those, and I know some people enjoy it, but I think I want to definitely keep those below half an hour for the normal boost. I mean, if we get something like the collector boost of this pack, I definitely want to invest some more time in it and take it clear, but yeah, let's hurry up. Next up is Cranial Ram, the buggy little sister of Cranial Plating. As such, it costs 1 black, 1 red for an artifact equipment. It's a living weapon, so when this enters the battlefield, it tags along a little 0/0 black Phyrexian germ creature token, and auto attaches to it. And the equipped creature gets +X+1 when X is the number of artifacts you control, and it has equipped for 2. So if you compare this to the Cranial Plating, that did not bring a token, but only cost it colorless. And base equip cost for 1. And quick or instant speed equip cost for 2 black. This one costs on default 2. Upside being you get +1 toughness, and it brings a body along, so it can already go beating earlier. On its own, like if you late or game, like if there was a board vibe and you then pull your Cranial Plating, it feels bad. Because you know you can go Cranial Ram, put some other stuff on it, and at least go beating, or jump blocking or something like that. I don't know, I heard the card was too strong for some formats, like mostly Pauper, so they pre-banned it. Not sure if I want to put it in my... I guess to have a similar one in my artifact decks, like I could put another copy in. I mean, the problem is the red, basically, for me, because most of my artifact decks that I'm currently playing are like black-green, black-blue, and stuff like that, so... can't really put that in those. I mean, I could put it in my Breya. Yes, I bring up the Breya doing those pre-release, those model crankings a lot. But it's just yet another card that just can slot in there. Anyways, to ensure proper fit, the mandibles can be inserted directly into the ears. Interesting. So it's made to probably attach it. It goes like, you have it sticking out of the pedal, similar like a xenomorph. Yeah, this reminds me a lot look-wise of a xenomorph head, doesn't it? Also, I don't really see the germ on this one. Usually you can see where the germ ends. So it's just that glibbery thing down there, but usually germs have next to no limbs of their own. Alright. Oh, we got another landscape. This is the Esper one. This is the contaminated landscape with all the glistering oil there. I assume that's why it's contaminated. It's a land, can tap for colorless, can tap for sacrifice. Sorry, you can tap it and sacrifice it. Search your library for basic plains, island, or swamp card. Put a battlefield tapped and shuffle. Similar to an Esper Panorama, actually, if you think about it, just as Esper Panorama costs 2 generic and tap to sacrifice. And you can cycle it for 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black. Discard from our hand and draw fresh cards. So this is, as we were discussing already with the other two, pretty nice little land. Compared to something like Terramorphic Expanse, it is limited in what it can fetch, but therefore it can already produce mana on its own. It's cheaper to sacrifice as the off-dimensional panoramas, and it also has cycling on top of it. So I mean, there's not much you can complain about those. Besides them being color locked for commanders, what I wanted to say. You can't play this one in a non-blue or non-black deck, for example. Oh, our first uncommon. Oh, that's now a blast from the past. This is a reimagined Siege Gang Commander as the Spawn Gang Commander. 3 generic, double red, creature, Eldrazi Goblin. It is devoid, so it has no color. It's 2/2, and when you cast this spell, we create 3 0/1 colorless Eldrazi Spawn creature tokens with sacrifice this creature, add 1 red, and has the ability, add 1 colorless, has the ability to pay 1 generic, pay 1 colorless, and sacrifice an Eldrazi. Doesn't matter what type of Eldrazi, doesn't have to be Spawn. And the Spawn Gang Commander deals 2 damage to any target. So this is basically a nod to the Siege Gang Commander who brought on enters the battlefield though 3 1/1 goblins. I think you had to pay 1 generic, 1 red to sacrifice a goblin to shoot damage. Or should he pay deal 2 damage, or if he dealt 1 damage? It's been a while since I've seen one of them. Yeah, cute little nod. I mean, it makes weaker creatures, but therefore you can also repurpose them as mana sources. So I mean, effectively you can say he costs only 2 mana. Because you can pay him for 5, and then you can immediately sack the Eldrazi's to cast something else. Weird thing is that the artwork still looks like it's not spawns, but it's actual goblins. So I mean, that's a bit weird. One if they originally wanted to make some special goblin Eldrazi tokens, and then they were like, nope, let's just do Eldrazi spawn. It'll be fine, because look at those. Those could just pass on as normal goblins. All 3 of those. No tentacles from what I'm seeing, no weirdness going on. This could just be goblins. So I think there was a bit of a design change when they made this one. That's a cool little notback. Like it. Ooh, who doesn't want this? There's our new taxi. Oh, in-game Uber. It's the Dreadmobile. Get into the Batmobile. Actually, yeah, the name, but also the costume reminds me of the Batmobile as well. I mean, not the look at all, but come on. Dreadmobile, 2 generic, 1 black. It's a 3/3 artifact vehicle with menace, so 3 mana, 3/3 menace is pretty fine. And it has 2 abilities. It has crew 1, so we can just have to tap a creature with power 1 or more. Can of course also be multiple. To crew this thing, so it can turn to a creature and attack. Or block, or do whatever creature can do. And we can also pay 1 generic and sacrifice another artifact or creature. So important, it cannot sacrifice itself if it would be targeted by an exile spell, for example. It's always important to keep in mind. We put a +1/+1 count on the Dreadmobile, so this is pretty good beta, I guess. 3 mana 3/3 is fine. I mean, yes, you need an additional creature to crew it, and it cannot be a spawn. Oh, most of the time it cannot be a spawn. Of course, we already have seen 2 Lord creatures that can turn the spawns into legitimate drivers. But yeah, it can grow later on. And for any artifact or creature, that's pretty good, everybody. That's pretty good. I mean, yes, it costs some mana, so you can't go overboard too crazy with this. I feel like this could even fit in I mean, it costs mana, that's the one problem. As I would say, this could even fit in a Affinity deck. I mean, if you build a budget or Affinity, actually, yeah, this could replace the Ravager. I mean, yes, it costs 1 mana more. Yes, you don't get to put the counter somewhere else. But still, I think if you're on a budget, this could be a nice replacement for the Ravager. Honestly. It's pretty cool. And we got a prison sentence. Static Prison is next up. And yeah, of course, the look of the thing is also very funny. I must say, like the weekly artwork. I mean, you saw that, right? The weird crocodile-shaped head and everything. Here we have a classic artwork, I guess. There's a demon getting imprisoned by some shackles. Static Prison, enchantment. For 1 white. When Static Prison enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until Static Prison leaves the battlefield. We get 2 energy. And at the beginning of our pre-combat main phase, we sacrifice the prison unless we pay 2. So this is pretty good. This is like an Oblivion Ring for 2 mana discounted. Downside being, it will only stick around for as long as we have energy. But even this, like if you play this the beginning of the pre-combat, so it doesn't matter. Like if you play it in a turn, it keeps the thing away. Then you have 1 turn that you can pay, a 2nd turn where you can pay, and only on the 3rd turn it comes back. If you have not played anything else that gives you energy or not done anything to get energy. So I feel this is pretty good. Nice little exile target not permanent, unconditional. Cannot protect your own stuff, like Oblivion Ring still can exile your stuff sometimes to protect from a board draft. If you like exile or permanent, something like that, you could first play an Oblivion Ring to protect your thing and then exile everything. I mean, that doesn't work, but besides that, Well, pretty good. And I mean, you don't have to let it stick around for long. If you just need to make some way for an attack and get rid of a nasty blocker, or like, for example, if they have a menacing token, you want to get rid of that, you can just exile it for 1 mana. That's pretty good. This thing is pretty alright. Like it. I need to see if I slot that in my energy deck as another removal. Pretty cool. And here we go with another MDFC card. You know what's really funny? During the pre-release, I only had, I think, 3 MDFCs. Granted, 2 of them were very good. The third one would have been good if it would have been the colors. And here, I think every pack had an MDFC. This is crazy to me. Not sure if we just had boxed boosters or what was going on there. Almost it looks like they are guaranteed, whereas they are, I think I had the blue one and the black one, which granted are 2 of the strongest ones. And I had the green-red one, I believe. The fight spell. So I did have a good selection, don't get me wrong. Like, I can't complain there. But yeah, that's kind of mind-boggling to me that we have so many. Anyways, let's see, what is this? This is the Pinnacle Monk. It's for free generic, double red. A 2/2 creature ninja monk, so a bit low on the body there. Let's see what it brings to the table. It has prowess. Still, for 5 mana, 2/2 prowess is not the greatest. What else does it have? When Pinnacle Monk enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. That is good. Having that effect in red actually for that cost is good. I think, as I said, like we talked about the guy already, the Anarchist is the old card for, I think, 4 generic, 1 red. 2/2 human wizard that brings back a sorcery exclusively. Whereas this thing can also fetch instant, so I think this might actually replace that in my decks where I play that guy. And he has the upside, of course, as I said, it's an MDFC. So we can also play the other sides. Let's see, the other side is Mystic Peak. It's a land, and it's battlefield tapped unless we pay 3 life, and taps for red. Pretty neat. Either we get the landscape where he's meditating on, or we get just a dude. Let's go with the flavor text. Nazad brought the Jeskai Jin, Ancient Wisdom, and a promise to challenge the status quo. Alright. On the other side we have Fear not the fall. Fear never reaching the pinnacle. That's some wise words. So basically don't look back, look forward. Pretty cool. That's it. They're playable. I mean, the creature feels pretty weak on default. Like if you just look at the 5 mana 2/2 prowess part, the rest is fine. Like I think this is a fair card. A bit weaker than some of the other ones, but still fair. And for our last outcome, we have Deep Analysis. 4 generic, 1 blue. Sorcery, that's a reprint from Torment. Target player draws 2 cards and has flashback for 1 generic, 1 blue. Pay for life. So yeah, for 6 mana you can draw 4 cards, split on 2 turns. And of course you have to pay for life, yes. This is pretty alright as well. It's a neat little card. I mean, drawing 2 for 4 mana is a bit below what you'd usually get nowadays. Like, you have to think about Concentrate, especially on sorcery speed. But the fact that you can repurpose it later, and technically counts as 2 casts of a spell, or something like, for example, prowess stuff, I think that's pretty alright. It's a neat little card, I like it. No fact escapes me. Why do you think you can? Says Mr. Nicole Bolas here. That's a little throwback. I mean, currently he's still in prison, if I'm not mistaken. And I think once again in the Mindscape. He already was in prison before, so yeah, not sure how that will turn out. But yeah. Nice. For a little reprint. I mean, by now I think I have enough of those, but still. And, oh, we got the Bestest Stalker as our rare. Thalia, Exuberant Shepherd. It's our rare. That's for 1 generic, 1 white, a 2/2 legendary creature dog with flash. It's 2 mana 2/2, nothing too crazy, but also not too bad. And when she attacks, we exile up to 1 target non-land permanent. Can be ours, can be anybody's. At the beginning of the next end step, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. And if it entered our control, we get a +1/+1 count on Thalia. So basically she plays hide and seek with stuff. And yeah, if she finds something on our side of the board, she gets happy and gets rewarded with a +1/+1 count. I think that's really cute. I guess the only problem this girl has is getting started. Like later on, if you give her a evasion, she can be a pretty good girl. Also, of course, getting rid of a blocker temporarily, getting rid of a problematic permanent, resetting a planeswalker. If the opponent gets close to getting the ultimate. That's pretty good. And isn't she cute? Look at that. I'm not really sure about what breed of dog it is. I'm sorry, but dogs are not really my thing, and they are, and I'm not theirs. Like, there's a lot of dogs that are like, yeah, they, I don't know. I think I ranted about it on stream once. Like, for whatever reason, a lot of dogs don't like me. I don't know why. And in time, that turned into me and being a bit reserved about dogs. Well, but this one was cute. Hope she wouldn't bite me or try to attack me like other dogs. That's so bit. She's cute. I wonder if I can do something with her. I like put in one of my decks. And here we have a Viscerator inside. Okay, let's quickly go over this one again, because I think like the flash part is interesting, because I mean it is like a pseudo haste for it. I guess that's the neat part about it. Like, she comes surprisingly down. I mean, I think they originally want to also give her that ability when she enters, you know, like we see a lot of cards that give an effect when they enter and then attack, and they were like, yep, that's too strong, so let's not do that. I feel like that the flash might actually be a leftover from that. Besides that, she's pretty good. And here we have the Eviscerators inside. Sorry, I want to go back there. That's our fourth of the pack. One generic, one black, an instant. It's an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards. We've seen this plenty of times already, the sacrifice a creature or sacrifice an artifact, draw 2 cards. Nothing too crazy. However, the good part here is we have also flashback for 4 generic and 1 black. Of course, keep in mind you also have to sacrifice something again as the additional cost. But still, drawing again, I mean, it's a pretty good comparison, like to deep analysis. Like, both potentially draw you 4 cards. This one for 6, this one for 7. Whereas here you just have to pay some life. This one is instant speed though, so this can also be used to repurpose a removal an opponent casts or something. Like, oh, you want to destroy this? Ah, let me just recycle it. Or pretty good. I like the foiling on this one. Look at that. Just giving enough scene here in the front there with the... I guess that's a Phyrexian Sentinel or something like that. And what is this, a Priest of Gix or something? Mysterious. I like the cool glowing orb there though. We are all just the sum of our parts. True, true. It looks like she took out the core from this thing, whatever it was. I wonder what creature that is. Does anyone have an idea? What she dismembered there? A gorgeous card. Cool, cool. So those spells are always fine. Definitely enjoy playing those sometimes. Especially in decks that want to sacrifice stuff anyways. Or reanimate stuff. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with this pack. Finally a non-rare red. Non-red rare, I should say, also. Like, so far we only had red rares, or rares are deeply inspired red, aka the Winter Moon. Oh yeah. Since we broke the curse, not all this was a really cool pack. Nothing too crazy, too bad. I mean, the vampire is a bit of a stinker, but everything else feels pretty good. Very cool. I hope to see you guys again in the next one. Take care, everybody. Play for your place. Signing out of here. Bye.